Right now at 5, firefighters remain on scene after a fire destroys a recycling complex in Arkansas.
And it's another chilly start out there for us. We'll be a little warmer as we head into the afternoon, and it'll still be breezy. Look at that forecast. Get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, community members gather to identify historic buildings in Joplin's North Heights neighborhood.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Friday, October the 18th.
Finally Friday.
There we are. We have made it through another thrilling week.
Yes, we have.
Every week is thrilling, isn't it? I can hear you all agreeing in unison, even this far out. I know you are. It's not been a bad week, really. I mean,
no, it's been a week.
It's been a week, yeah. Nothing crazy, nothing spectacular.
A little bit colder.
It definitely got colder. We're setting record lows just the other day.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Well, no records out there to be set today, but nonetheless, it will be a little bit nicer this afternoon. Well, but it's been nice. Let me rephrase. It'll be a little warmer this afternoon, but it will still be windy as well. All right, our camera downtown Pittsburgh looking pretty good so far. We've got clear skies, and that's what we've got from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. Still looking back to the southwest and still looking good. I'll head over to the KDOT camera, 69 East 520th Avenue, also looking fantastic as we get this Friday underway. So let's take a look at the future track. And on the future track, you can see, other than the gusty winds, not much out there. We're still looking at those rain chances next week. We'll talk about those a little later. But as we head through the afternoon and into the evening hours today, again, temperatures will be a little warmer. We'll still have those gusty winds. However, they will actually begin to calm down a little bit later this evening, unlike what they did last night. It's still been a little breezy. It was a little breezy getting gas this morning, and it makes it feel a lot colder, you know, that wind. 43 in both Joplin and Pittsburgh, and across the area, we have that southerly breeze, so temperatures not too bad. We do have some 30s out there still, and this is the weird turnaround. The 30s, the cooler spots, are in our southern counties. Traditionally, it's up north, but not this time. So 30s down to the south, the rest of us, low, mid, and upper 40s. Kids getting on the bus this morning. We are looking at the mid-40s, clear skies, south winds 5 to 10, and then they'll pick back up again, gusting. Most of us 20 to 30, but again, our northwestern counties could breach that 30 to 40 mile an hour zone, so no outdoor burning again. It'll be about 72 when that bus brings them home. That's where our highs are headed. Into the upper 60s and low 70s. Again, sunny, breezy. Not a bad day all in all. We'll take a look at your weekend forecast and talk about those rain chances next week here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, some Oklahomans are suing to prevent mandating Bibles in schools. More than 30 Oklahomans have been named as plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the Oklahoma superintendent regarding his order to have the Bible as required material in every Oklahoma public school classroom. Well, this suit was filed in the Oklahoma Supreme Court yesterday. And last month, Superintendent Ryan Walters announced that $3 million in state funds would be used to purchase and supply 55,000 Bibles to Oklahoma schools. The plaintiffs are seeking a judgment stating that the Bible education mandate is invalid and unenforceable. The plaintiffs in the case include Oklahoma spiritual leaders, parents, and teachers. Well, in response to the lawsuit, Walters stated on social media in part, quote, "It is not possible for our students to understand the American history and culture without understanding the biblical principles from which they came. I will never back down to the woke mob, no matter what tactic they use to try to intimidate Oklahomans," end quote. You can see more of Walters' response and see the full petition and lawsuit on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. A police arrested juvenile suspected of a hoax terroristic threat in Neosho, Missouri. Wednesday, Neosho police responded to the junior high to investigate a report of a terroristic threat. Now, detectives learned that 2 boys had taken a photo of BB guns that was later edited and posted on social media by a 12-year-old girl. Police say the photo indicated that a school shooting was to take place Wednesday. Detectives determined that it was a hoax and no real threat existed. Authorities went on to say if this had been from an adult, multiple charges would have been filed, including making a terrorist threat first degree, which is a Class D felony, which carries up to 7 years in prison. Fire crews in Rogers, Arkansas continue to monitor fire at what remains of a recycling business 24 hours after it began. The fire swept through the Mark Industries Incorporated, a recycling center in the 3500 block of North Arkansas Street. Now, before sundown Wednesday night, the plume of fire could be seen from Neosho, Missouri, nearly 40 miles away. At the height of the effort, nearly 20 crews responded, though the fire was contained to the property from the beginning. Now, while most of the crews have left the scene, Rogers Fire remains to monitor the area for flare-ups and air quality. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, city officials and the Joplin Historic Preservation Commission members met last night to discuss plans to survey Joplin's North Heights neighborhood. Now, the goal to identify the area's historic buildings and sites and to make sure they're preserved. Over a 3-year period, inspectors will visit homes and structures to see if they fit the criteria.
Ultimately, the goal is to have the information needed from a preservationist point of view to nominate a National Register district to National Historic Register.
Now, according to the Joplin Historic Preservation Commission, preservation has proven to be a major contributor to tourism and economic development. Many historic districts have stabilized and some even increased property values as well. Well, yesterday, classes at Carl Junction paused to take cover and practice how they would stay safe during an earthquake. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
If like some of the roof comes down, we it hits our back and not our head.
Carl Junction students are some of the many students that participated in International Shakeout Day to raise awareness for earthquake safety.
We went under the table and we grabbed onto one of the bars and we put our hands on our head.
So ideally, you want them to get outside and be safe from anything that could fall on them. In the event that's not possible, we seek somewhere underneath a secure table or something that would be safe for them.
While most earthquake centers are to the southwest and east of the Joplin area, some residents have felt the shockwaves from one as recent as February 2024.
History would tell us that anytime you live east or western or near the Mississippi or Missouri River, it's possible that they could make their way to the Midwest. And we don't know what always underlies underneath our surfaces.
When instructions were given to students over the intercom, students went under their desk to practice what they would do if there was a real earthquake.
When there's an earthquake, we should put our hands on our head and get under the table.
Education is super important. Any academic procedures we put in place are important, but the number one job for us as a building is to ensure that when the parents drop their kids off, that their students are safe.
Shakeout Day is meant to remind people that they could be anywhere when an earthquake strikes, like at work or at school. And they want to make sure people have the tools to be prepared. Reporting in Carl Junction, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Millions of people across the country participated in National Shakeout Day at 10:17 yesterday morning. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Grove High School football tries to remain undefeated. We'll have those details. Plus, a London zoo creates a custom giraffe mobile to help safely transport animals. And we have a sunny and windy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, Pittsburgh State football hosting Fort Hays State this Saturday. One of the biggest challenges facing the Gorillas this season was replacing an All-American tight end. They brought in Will Huggins to do so, a transfer from KU who's felt very comfortable going from the Jayhawks to the Gorillas.
I felt like I did my time there, and I'm having a great time here. I came on a visit here. I met Coach Ant. Went on a visit with my buddy Jack and Barkley and Gaskell. And they showed me around, and it was a great time. It was an easy decision for me. I've loved it here so far.
When you look at a transfer, you have to take a lot of things into account. We don't just take transfers, blindly without knowing. Will's situation is unique because his best friend was a wide receiver on our team. I mean, Jack Roberts and him grew up together. So when a kid like that comes to us, Jack, and says, "Hey, coach, I got this guy, KU," and he gives you the background, well, that holds a lot of weight to us.
Miami High School softball has earned its second trip to the state tournament in the past 3 seasons. Lady War Dogs began state tournament play yesterday evening. Miami meets Blanchard in the quarterfinal round of state, and that's where the Lady War Dogs season comes to an end. They fall to the Lions 12-2. Still plenty to be proud of. Miami finishes the season with a record of 22-4. It's also playoff time for Missouri High School softball as well. In the Class 5 District 7 tournament in Lee's Summit, Carthage has its season come to an end. Lady Tigers battle into the 11th inning against 2-seed Lee's Summit West, but ultimately fall 8-7. Elsewhere in that same tournament, Neosho beats Joplin 6-3. The Wildcats advance to the semis. Lee's Summit beats Webb City 11-8. That game went to 12 innings. Ray Peck and Lee's Summit North still never got to play their game that was scheduled for a 7 p.m. first pitch. That's been postponed to later today. No Friday night lights this week in Oklahoma. All our local high school football teams from the Sooner State played last night instead of tonight. A really good battle last night between a Grove Ridge Runner team that is undefeated and the Miami War Dogs, who enter with a 4-2 record. Opening drive, Miami quarterback Sam Lillard rolls to his right as he completes it to Logan Sumapong for the touchdown. War Dogs leading 7-0. Grove responds quickly, though. Gavin Wyatt got to hand this one off to Ezra Gates, and he dives across the goal line. Grove ties this game up at 7-7. So we're going to head to the second quarter, 4th and long for Miami. Instead of going for a field goal, the War Dogs decide to roll the dice, and this is a trick play as Sam Lillard connects with Chris Kelly, and he stays in bounds to score the touchdown. Miami takes the lead again, now 14-7. Grove offense doesn't take long to respond. Gavin Wyatt completes the short pass to Jacob Gain, and he does the rest as he takes this all the way to the end zone to tie the game once again. This one came down to the wire, but Miami hangs on to win this game after Grove misses the game-tying field goal. War Dogs win 31-28. Wyandotte Youth Football leads the Bears High School team onto the field. They take on Salina last night. Second play from scrimmage, Hunter White keeps it on a read option. He's going to sprint past the first line of defenders, keep on running all the way to the end zone. Bears strike first. They lead 7-0. First line of possession, and Eli Swerer is going to throw toward the sideline. Off his receiver's hands and intercepted by Avery Laughlin. Wildcats tie it up at 7, though. Second quarter now, Bears in the red zone. They hand it off to Kason Threet up the middle. He bounces and spins off tackles into the end zone. Wyandotte back in front, 14-7. 4 minutes to go until halftime. Salina facing a 4th and 8. Swerer throws to the end zone. No receiver in the same area code. That's picked off by Evan Brown. He'll run it back 50 yards before getting tackled. Salina makes it tight down the stretch, but the Bears hang on for a 28-27 win. Well, still to come, a new study finds that teen smoking has dropped to its lowest levels in 25 years. Plus, got another check of that warming forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up now on 5:19 on this Friday morning. We're going to start with the future track, and at least heading into the weekend, not much to show out there. We will have those gusty south winds once again today. However, they will begin to ease up a little bit by this evening, and as we go overnight, we could have a stray cloud here or there. Temperatures still a bit on the chilly side. So again, if you're heading to the parade tomorrow morning, the Maple Leaf Parade in Carthage, just keep in mind we're talking mid-upper 40s, maybe some low 50s. It's just going to be depend on how quickly things warm, but it boils down to if you're heading to the parade, it's going to be a bit on the chilly side, so just be prepared for that. However, as I've mentioned, if you're heading out in the afternoon, it will warm up. And again, it's not just Carthage. Everybody looking at similar temperatures. We're going to start to warm up even more so as we head into our Saturday. In fact, we're looking at being just a little above normal as we head into Saturday, and then that warming trend will continue into Sunday. So by Sunday, starting our day a little bit warmer, upper 40s, maybe even a couple of low 50s early Sunday morning, ahead of those highs starting to climb again, a few degrees above average as we're looking at some upper 70s by Sunday out there. But as you can see, still for the most part dealing with clear skies. It won't be until Monday, late Monday, that we'll start to see those rain chances. So again, at least through today, no outdoor burning, please, at all, because those gusty winds are really going to start to ramp up. You can see by 9 o'clock already picking up. Now, most of us in the southeastern half of our area, again, looking at those gusts 20, 30 miles an hour, but in the northwestern corners of our area, that's where they could get back to that 30 to 40 mile an hour range as we head through today. However, as you can see by this evening, they do begin to calm down, and by tomorrow morning, the winds are considerably more manageable across the area. Sitting at 43 in Joplin, we do have that wind chill of 40 with a southeast breeze at about 5 miles an hour. Across the region, it's again a bit of a chilly start here and there. We have some 30s, upper 30s in our southern counties, which again is an odd twist. As you folks at home know, usually it's colder up north, warmer down south. This morning, it's a little backwards, a little warmer even across parts of southeast Kansas. Upper 40s near 50. The rest of us low to mid 40s, but 40s pretty much all around. We've got the mid 40s by the time we get this day underway. 8 o'clock, sunny skies, and of course the winds will start picking up through the morning. And we'll be about the low 60s by late morning today, and that's ahead of those highs again, just about right at maybe a degree or two above or lower than normal, but it's going to be almost average out there. Very average Friday. Breezy, sunny skies. Temperatures into the low 70s. Heading into the evening, the skies initially clear, then we'll have a few clouds later this evening and overnight, falling back into the mid to upper 40s again. And as we head through the weekend, we talked about the fact we're going to start to warm up. There's a gradual warming trend, but this trend continues. By Monday, late Monday into early Tuesday, a few stray showers out there. Again, these are not the best rain chances in the world, but at least there's some rain chances. A few of us get some showers. Outside of that, all of us getting in on that warm up as we head further into next week. Temperatures now going 10, 12 degrees above normal again as we see the mid, maybe even some upper 80s return to our forecast. And that is a check of the forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. Well, a new government survey shows encouraging news in teen health as uses of risky health products declines. A Centers for Disease Control and Prevention survey shows teen smoking and teen tobacco use overall hit an all-time low in 2024. The survey shows a 20% drop in teens using at least one tobacco-related product, such as cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, nicotine pouches, and hookahs. Now, teen user numbers dropped from 2.8 million last year to 2.25 million this year. This is the lowest level since the CDC survey began in 1999. Health officials say tobacco price increases and public health campaigns are helping drop these rates. Well, there are popular baby products, but when infant support cushions aren't properly used, they can be dangerous to infants and even deadly. Now, for the first time, new federal safety standards will be placed on these products. Mandy Gaither has more on the new rule and how officials hope it will help save lives.
The safest space for a baby to sleep is on a flat, bare surface. Placing products in a child's dedicated sleeping space can be dangerous, even deadly.
We're trying to prevent those deaths and injuries from occurring.
Between 2010 and 2022, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission linked infant support cushions to 79 infant deaths and 124 injuries. Most were younger than 3 months old, and the CPSC says a majority of the deaths involve the cushion being placed in a sleep setting. The products include infant loungers, pillows for positioning, tummy time, nursing, and lounging, as well as stuffed toys, pads, and mats.
So important to make sure these products are only used while your baby is awake for tummy time activities and while the parent is aware and right there with the baby at all times.
In an effort to prevent these deaths and serious injuries, the CPSC has approved new federal mandatory standards aimed at reducing risk of suffocation, entrapment, and falls. The new rule will require products to undergo firmness testing and sidewall angle testing. The maximum incline angle will no longer be allowed to exceed 10 degrees. The use of infant restraints will also be prohibited, as officials say they give a false sense of safety for babies to be left unattended. And a strongly worded on-product warning label will now be required.
Make sure you have a product that meets those requirements.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Now, the new rule will go into effect in about 6 months after its publication in the Federal Register. Now, it'll require all infant support cushions manufactured for sale after that time to meet the new federal requirements. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves another chilly start to the day out there. It will be a little warmer this afternoon. Details when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, Pittsburgh businesses are showing their spooky side for Halloween.
And we got a chilly start once again to the day. Will be a little bit warmer out there, and it's going to be windy again. Talk about that in the forecast. Get you out the door coming up.
Plus, students and staff at one Joplin school gives a big shout out to their cafeteria workers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Friday, October the 18th, and here we are. We got a lot going on this weekend. Big Maple Leaf Parade is this weekend.
Oh, it's exciting, yes.
Very exciting. You know, and earlier this morning, and I know we'll probably end up coming back to it, we ran that Shake It Out story.
Yes.
And we talked with Carl Junction, and it brought back these fond memories. I was in the 2nd grade at Cecil Floyd, and we had earthquake drills regularly because there was strong belief. And you folks at home, if you've been here long enough, you'll remember this. There was strong belief that the New Madrid fault line was set to go off. Like they were convinced it was about to trigger a major earthquake. Didn't happen, but by golly, we were prepared just in case.
Shake it out.
Okay, it's almost like Taylor Swift.
I know.
I am not Taylor Swift, though, and I do have a Swift forecast that's tailored for you. There we are. That's it. It's Friday. We've done it. We have a Swift forecast tailored for you, starting with this. I can't do it. This is our camera, downtown Pittsburgh. Looking pretty good this morning. We got clear skies. It is another chilly start to the day. Not bad from our camera at 7th and Range Line as well. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. There's a car. There'll be more later, of course, but we've got a few cars. Also, on the 69 corridor, this is the KDOT camera at East 520th Avenue out there. Future track, the big thing it's going to show us is going to be the winds. They will pick up once again through the morning out of the south. Most of us, almost that same zone. From here and southeast, we're talking gusts upwards of 20 to 30 miles an hour. If you're northwest of that point, those wind gusts could be in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range. And we don't have any red flag warnings at this point, but if any of that changes, of course, we'll tell you about it. Otherwise, again, today, very close to normal for most of us. So a little bit warmer out there, even though it's still going to be breezy. A little bit chilly out there now, though. 43 in Joplin as well as Pittsburgh. And like Taylor Swift, those temperatures overnight have been like going back to December. How many Taylor Swift things can I squeeze in here? I don't know. I'm not going to try, really. Okay, this morning, though, got some 30s, upper 30s in our southern counties, and then the rest of us are in a broad range of 40s. We've got low, mid, and upper 40s across the region, getting close to the 50-degree mark, parts of southeast Kansas. 44 when the kids get on the bus, clear skies, south breeze 5 to 10. Better this afternoon, low 70s, but when we'll have those south winds really starting to pick up out there. Sunny skies, breezy again, most of us low 70s. Maybe even some upper 60s out there, so pretty close to normal. The normal trend wraps up tomorrow. We'll start heating back up, and we're going to go well above normal next week. Details in the full forecast, and a lot less Taylor Swift here in just a few more minutes. Lise?
All right, thanks for that delicate forecast, Chris. Well, some students in Joplin took time to build their futures yesterday. The Missouri Job Center Southwest region set up shop in the old Macy's space at the North Park Mall to host the Build My Future event. Now, it's the largest trade and manufacturing expo in Southwest Missouri and a way to present possible career opportunities for some 8th grade through high school students.
Not every kid wants to go to college. Not every kid is ready to go into a specific medical or other type of field. So there's a lot of kids who want to do trade, and so this gives them that opportunity to learn more about it.
The event featured more than 50 vendors and more than 800 students registered. Well, Joplin's Soaring Heights Elementary School served up a special shout out yesterday in honor of National School Lunch Week. The school honored the women they call Queens of the Cafeteria, and yesterday that lunch crew was dressed as pirates. They're proud of the work they're doing to feed our kids every day.
School lunch is nutritious. I know there's probably some things out there, social media, that maybe give school lunch a bad rap, but we're constantly working to improve it, and it is a really affordable.
Well, today the Soaring Heights Queens of the Cafeteria will be serving up cheese bites with marinara sauce for the kiddos. Sounds good. Well, a theme park in Southwest Missouri announces a major expansion. Yesterday, Silver Dollar City announced plans to invest $500 million over the next decade on the park's biggest expansion. Plans include new family adventures, including the development of 1,200 acres adjacent to the Ozark Mountain theme park. That's in addition to the debut of Silver Dollar City Resort, which will feature more than 200 guest rooms.
$500 million invested over the next 10 years is this company's belief in the state of Missouri and in the region called the Ozark Mountains.
The Silver Dollar City Resort is scheduled to open in late 2026. Well, Pittsburgh's businesses are getting a facelift of sorts. It's the annual Halloween window painting. Young artists from all over the community got to paint their favorite Halloween displays on local businesses' windows. Now, this event was revived after a 10-year hiatus, and they'll be judged and a winner will be selected.
We just hope that people get more engaged in the community. You know, we have an exciting downtown. We have a lot of new shops. We have a lot of activity down here, particularly this weekend. Of course, it's a homecoming weekend.
The window painting competition will be completed in time for Saturday's Pitt State Homecoming Parade. The Coal Valley Pumpkin Company started in 2023 in Ware, Kansas. They specialize in growing a variety of specialty pumpkins. You can also take advantage of all the pumpkin varieties by booking a mini photo session. All proceeds go to help their daughter.
We have 51 different varieties of pumpkins, and we really just wanted to have a big selection for people to choose from, but also we were personally curious about what they were going to grow like, what they were going to look like, and just to have fun decorating with all the different kinds.
The Coal Valley Pumpkin Company is open Saturdays from 10 to 4 and Sundays from 10 to 2. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. 157 people have died, including children, after an overturned gasoline tanker truck exploded in Nigeria. Plus, Israeli forces confirmed they killed Hamas's leader. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, topping World Watch. Young giraffe Wilfred gets a trip on the Giraffe Mobile. Wilfred was chauffeured to the London Zoo in what will be his last chance at life in a big British city. After that, he'll make his way to France, which will be his permanent home. The move is part of a recommendation from the European Breeding Program, which works to ensure the future survival of Wilfred's endangered giraffe species. Now, he was reunited with his half-sister, Nuru, who shares the same father from the Whipsnade Zoo. Now, Wilfred will get to enjoy the next few days at the London Zoo with some of his favorite food and activities. Well, Prince William got a look into crime scene investigation training at Duchy College, Stoke, Clemslin, in the English County of Cornwall. Now, the Duke of Cornwall met with students as they discussed opportunities outside of the city in more rural parts of the country. Some lucky students got to bring him along on their exercises, learning to take fingerprints and creating mock crime scenes. He later got to meet residents of the town, taking selfies with them and received flowers from supporters. Well, mass casualties reported in Nigeria following the explosion of a fuel tanker Wednesday. More than 140 people, including children, were killed after an overturned gasoline tanker truck exploded in flames in the Jigawa state. Now, the explosion taking place as those on the scene were trying to scoop up fuel. Dozens more were injured. Such accidents are said to be common in the country, which is said to lack efficient railway systems to support cargo transport. In September, 48 were killed when a fuel tanker collided with another truck in north-central Nigeria. The most wanted man in Israel is now dead. Israeli forces confirmed they killed Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, the man believed to be behind the October 7th massacre. His death could be a turning point in the war in Gaza, where thousands have died and been displaced. Connor Hansen has the story.
Israel delivered a powerful blow to Hamas, eliminating its top leader Yahya Sinwar during a firefight Wednesday. His death is renewing hopes of a ceasefire and an end to the war in Gaza.
Good day for the world.
President Biden congratulated Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, the man believed to be the mastermind of the October 7th massacre in Israel last year. With him out of the picture, the Biden administration is hoping for a breakthrough in stalled ceasefire talks.
There's been no path to ending this war because Sinwar has refused to talk about releasing the hostages or coming to a ceasefire. We now see an opportunity with him being removed from the battlefield.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken will be traveling to Israel, hoping to seize that opportunity. But Prime Minister Netanyahu warned the war isn't over yet. He delivered a message directly to the people of Gaza.
This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages.
Israeli officials released new video of what it says were Sinwar's final moments. Drone video allegedly captured him sitting in a chair with his face covered inside a partially demolished building. The IDF says the structure collapsed during shelling, killing Sinwar. The Hamas leader wasn't the target of the attack, and he was identified later using DNA and dental records. Sinwar was allegedly found with a bulletproof vest, grenades, and more than $10,000 in Israeli cash.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:46 on this Friday morning, and the future track, unfortunately, still a little bland out there. We don't have any rain or anything, but we could have a few clouds overnight tonight, which is slightly different than what we've seen lately. Otherwise, heading into the afternoon, we're going to have those gusty south winds once again. So almost like yesterday, that same approximate zone. This little dividing point here, if you're northwest of that little poor line that I just drew, we're looking at the winds. They could start gusting 30, 40 miles an hour again. If you're southeast of that line, you'll be in that 20 to 30 mile an hour zone. So again, at this point, we don't have any red flag warnings in place, but that does not mean that it's okay to start setting fires outside or do any outdoor burning in general. It just means that there's not a red flag warning. So please, again, no outdoor burning today whatsoever. It is not going to be a good idea. As we headed to Saturday, got the Maple Leaf Parade. I know we've been talking about it, but I mean, you also know there's going to be 50, 60,000 people that show up for that thing. So if you are heading out for it tomorrow morning, parade time, of course, 9 a.m. It's going to be a little bit chilly. Make sure you've got a blanket or something, but you don't want to bundle up too much because if you're especially if you're sticking around in the afternoon with different events and things going on, because it's going to be a little warmer Saturday than what we're going to see today. And that, again, this applies to everybody. While we may be talking about Carthage and the Maple Leaf Festival, take a look at these temperatures. Yates Center, Fredonia, Chinook, Parsons, Miami, Veneta, Grove, Anderson, Lamar, Stockton, we're all warming up. And we're going to begin to get a little above normal. Now for Saturday, you can see as we see some mid-upper 70s, especially in the southeast Kansas. So we're talking, Coffeyville, Bartlesville, Fredonia. Might be a little above normal. We're not going to go significantly above normal on Saturday, but then we get into Sunday and we're going to see a few more folks, even though we got another cool start to get into the upper 70s. Instead of it being kind of confined, you can take a look here. See, there's a lot more upper 70s. We got 78s, Bartlesville, Coffeyville, Miami. Something to keep in mind because, again, by Sunday, we're going to start to really warm up, and even next week, even warmer. So here's that really bad line that I'm drawing again, but you can see on the wind tracker what we're talking about. The good news is, unlike yesterday, these winds will begin to calm down late this evening, and by tomorrow morning, they're considerably more manageable, but we've still got one more really breezy day. We're sitting at 43 in Joplin right now. It does feel like 40 with a southeast breeze at 5. Skies are clear. Skies are clear across the region. And again, in an odd twist, our southern counties have some of the coldest temperatures. 34 in Miami as the cold spot. We got some upper 30s south of that. And you kind of circle back around into southeast Kansas where it's a little bit warmer, upper 40s. Everyone else, though, low, mid 40s, upper 40s. Just kind of a mixed bag of 40-degree readings from the majority of us. And that's where we're starting our day. Mid 40s, sunny skies this morning, and then breezy conditions kick in. Low 60s by late morning. Our highs today, upper 60s, low 70s, so relatively close to normal. Again, maybe a pinch above normal Saturday, more so on Sunday. Monday, late Monday into Tuesday, still have those little rain chances out there. Again, they're not a lot, but there's something, and it's better than nothing. And as we get past Monday, though, take a look at those temperatures. I know we don't want to, but we got to. At least it's not the 90s. I guess that's okay. We're going mid, maybe even some upper 80s in the second half of next week. So that's going to put us back in that 10 to 12 degree above normal range as we head into the next week. That's a check of your forecast. We will be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Well, a military dog finds his forever home and reunites with his old partner. Patrick Cornell shares that story, and take a look at this.
Check out this heartwarming homecoming hug years in the making. Retired military dog Dasty joyfully reunited with former handler U.S. Army Sergeant Mike Fletcher. The pair partnered up while in service from 2018 until 2022, including a deployment to Afghanistan where they were tasked with explosives detection and patrol. Dasty not only did his job, he also became an unofficial mascot on base. When Mike left the Army in 2022 and moved to Wisconsin, he was separated from Dasty until this year when the 10-year-old Dutch Shepherd retired due to old age. That's when American Humane stepped in, helping reconnect the old pals, bringing them back together. Mike and his family have now adopted Dasty and plan to give him a comfortable retirement. Mike says having his best friend by his side will help his ongoing transition to civilian life. From a dog happy to be home to a clearly agitated, endangered big cat captured near Chicago.
The moment I saw it, I thought to myself, I have no idea what that is. It's not normal.
This caracal had been roaming a neighborhood for days when a homeowner spotted the animal and called authorities. When police arrived, a 2-hour chase ensued before the feline fled under a deck. Officers pried a board loose and tranquilized the cat so they could get it into a cage. Don't worry, the animal was not harmed and is now at an animal sanctuary. According to the San Diego Zoo, these cats are native to Africa and the Middle East, so how the heck did it end up here?
It's a very young cat, I would say probably 8 months to a year old is all. So it has to be someone's pet that they had and let go. They're not pets.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Stick around, we're back with more right after this. Well, Minnie Mouse has a new gig. She's finally been invited to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The beloved Disney character will get her own 60-foot balloon, joining Mickey, who's been a parade participant since 1934, as well as Pluto, Donald Duck, and Goofy. Macy's says it's been a long-held dream to bring Minnie's character to life, and it's the perfect time with both the parade and Minnie approaching centennial status. The Macy's parade debuted in 1924. Minnie's character came to life a few years later in 1928. We'll get your frosting fix. Today is National Chocolate Cupcake Day. Here's a fun fact. The cupcake was originally known as the 1, 2, 3, 4 cake as a simple way to remember the basic recipe. 1 cup of butter, 2 cups of sugar, 3 cups of flour, and 4 eggs. In the 19th century, most cupcakes were either vanilla or chocolate. The small cakes have since evolved, and you can get just about any flavor of cupcake now. We're celebrating chocolate today, but you can switch to vanilla on November 10th for National Vanilla Cupcake Day, and other flavors on December 15th for National Cupcake Day.
That's a lot of cupcake days. That's like an well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess you can never have enough cupcakes, right? Sure, yeah, okay. That sounds good. Cupcakes, hey, today's a good day. Every day's a good day for a cupcake, really. But Today's going to be a pretty decent one as well. We're going to start right around the mid-40s. Clear skies. Winds will start picking up again out of the south. Low 60s by 11 o'clock. Those south winds will be gusting in the southeastern part of our area, 20, 30 miles an hour. In our northwestern counties, that's where that 30 to 40 mile an hour range will come in. Clear skies. Temperatures upper 60s and low 70s today, so many of us right about normal. Clear skies continue, and then we'll start to see a few clouds late evening and overnight. Nothing too crazy, falling back into the upper 40s, and the winds will come back down. For Saturday, warmer, upper 70s by the afternoon, near 80 Sunday. Rain chances late Monday into Tuesday. Temperatures next week, though, back to that 10 to 12 degree above normal range, which is not fun, but it's what it is. I just have to tell you about it. We'll be back into the mid, maybe even some upper 80s by the second half of next week. That's checking your forecast. We're back with more right after this.